Hello, I'm Mark Scholaro, the owner of MS Classic Cars. Welcome back to our showroom here located in Seekonk, Massachusetts. If you haven't heard of us or know much about our dealership, please check out our YouTube channel. We actually did a video about a month or so ago that gave a really clear introduction of who we are and what we do. Just to touch on that for a minute, MS Classic Cars does do things completely different than any other dealership. We're very proud of that. We run our cars, which by the way we own. These are not vehicles that are on consignment. These are cars that I personally find, handpick, bring into the facility. We put them through a vigorous service process, which is actually documented with an invoice with every vehicle. We thoroughly detail these cars, spend as much as 2 days on each car, starting from the top to the bottom. And then we do an unbelievable job with our photography, descriptions, etc. So if you haven't seen that video that we posted a little over a month or so ago, please do subscribe to our channel. The purpose of today's video was to show you the collection of vehicles that we have going to the Barrett-Jackson auction, which is coming up here January 12th through the 20th in Scottsdale, Arizona. We're bringing a total of 15 vehicles that we're very, very proud of, and I think you'll really appreciate seeing some of these vehicles today. So we'll make our way over to the first one. This is one here that I'm extremely proud of. Back about 2 years ago, we had a 47 Indian Chief with a Gottlob sidecar that actually was a reproduction sidecar. We took to Barrett-Jackson. It set a world record. It did over 100,000, which was really impressive. We've been on the hunt for another vehicle from that era, another motorcycle with a sidecar. We happened to purchase this particular bike here, and we actually paired the sidecar. One of our employees, Carl Almeida, deserves all the credit for the find. He did an outstanding job marrying the two of these together, but this is a 47 Harley-Davidson FL Deluxe Knucklehead with a matching numbers motor, black, red, absolutely stunning, and it's paired to a 1945 authentic steel Harley-Davidson LE sidecar. He even integrated the vintage American flag with the eagle. It just looks absolutely spectacular. This bike actually has electric start, which is really great, and it's got a belt drive system on it opposed to the chain, so it's not just a showpiece, but it's something that you can actually get in, drive, and enjoy. That's going to be selling on Wednesday. I believe it's January 16th, if I'm not mistaken. Walking over to the next vehicle, this is actually a 1964 Ford Fairlane Thunderbolt recreation. They actually made, Ford made 100 of these cars. They were essentially factory race cars. You can go into your dealership and order. I wish this car was real. Unfortunately, it's not. If it was, it would be priced in the $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 range. But this is an outstanding replica of the original Thunderbolt. This car is actually going to be selling on Thursday. I believe that's January 17th. Check it out on our website for all the details of all these vehicles. We have lot numbers, we have dates and things like that in case I have one that's not 100% accurate. Coming over here, we have a beautiful 1965 Pontiac GTO convertible. Scott Tiemann participated in this restoration. It is one of the best cars in the country. The car actually just went to the 2018 GTO Nationals, and it scored outstanding, one of the highest scoring GTOs in history there. The engine compartment just is absolutely stunning. It's a matching numbers car, beautiful color combination, just a spectacular restoration. This car is going to be selling on Thursday, January, I believe, 17th as well. Very close to the 64 Ford Thunderbolt. Over here, we have a car that is very, very rare. This is a 1931 Rio Flying Cloud, model 621. This is one of the most gorgeous vehicles from the 30s I've ever seen. Extremely straight body, extremely nice paint, matching numbers, just a great example of a Rio. If you don't know much about Rios, you gotta do some research. They're spectacular cars with great history and definitely a piece of automotive American history and so forth. This car is actually going to be selling on Wednesday. That's a really special car. Making our way over here, this is actually something that you don't see very often. Very proud of this. This is a 1965 FJ45L custom pickup truck. This is a really fabulous piece. It's actually been completely customized. It shares kind of a 78, front end. It's got 78 doors. It's got a really unique high density light bar. It's been obviously lifted. It's got huge tires. It's got a winch, custom headlights. MS Classic Cars actually added some things to this vehicle when we were servicing it. The engine compartment is really detailed. It's actually got a Chevy 350 drivetrain, 4-speed transmission, 4-wheel drive, just an outstanding vehicle. Again, you can check out all these vehicles on our website at msclassiccars.com. Complete descriptions, tons of photos, the dates of the auction, the lot numbers, all that stuff. But this is definitely a favorite. This is going to be selling on Thursday later in the daytime. Making our way over to this side of the showroom. This is one of my personal favorites. This is something that you just don't see hardly ever. And this is one of the best examples that I could find on the internet for sale currently and in the past. This is a 1962 Corvair 95 ramp side pickup truck that was painted in absolutely gorgeous factory color, green with this white, just an outstanding color combination. These trucks are actually cab over. The ramp side deal is not only do they have a tailgate, but they actually have a ramp side that folds down from the center, which allows you to kind of enter and exit the vehicle from the center of the bed, which is just really cool. This is in the Corvair registry. I think there's less than 100 of these cars actually in the registry, so it's definitely a spectacular car. That's the first vehicle it's going to be selling in our collection. It's going to be on Tuesday, so you make sure you check that one out. It's really special. Making our way over here, this is something that I'm very proud to have in the collection. I think this is going to be an absolute home run at Barrett-Jackson. This is a 1987 Buick Grand National that has 29 miles on it. So let me say that again. It has 29 original miles. This car was a true barn find. It has great ownership history. We spent a lot of time making this car look like the day it was delivered off the showroom floor. It is absolutely beautiful. It's fully serviced. It might be the lowest documented Grand National known to exist. It's going to be selling on Thursday at Barrett-Jackson, which is going to be impressive to see what kind of numbers it pulls because it's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Making our way over here, this is the first Bentley we've ever had at MS Classic Cars. This is actually a 2005 Bentley Continental GT. These cars were all-wheel drive, just an outstanding 6-liter twin-turbo power plant, tons of horsepower, luxurious, just an awesome car to drive. I've always wanted one of these cars, and what makes this car really special is it has 13,700 original miles. It is serviced, it is detailed. It's one of the best examples of a Bentley Continental you'll ever see, and this one's going to be selling on Wednesday. Making our way over here, this is just a spectacular 1970 Plymouth Cuda 440. This car was inspected recently by Mopar expert David Weiss. He actually came to the dealership here to inspect a few cars. This is one of them that was included. Prior to David Weiss inspecting it, it was inspected by Galen Govier. Both of those reports are included. This is a real purple car. Purple is definitely the most desirable color, obviously, in this particular car. This car retains the original matching numbers 440 engine. It originally was built with a 4-barrel. Now it sports the 6-pack setup with the shaker hood. The original hood and the original carburetor are included with the car. It does have the original 4-speed transmission. It's a great color combination. It's an extremely high-end restoration. It's been a while since Barrett-Jackson has seen a car like this, so we're really looking forward to it. This one's actually going to be selling on Friday. And coincidentally, it's going to be selling right next to this car. This is actually selling first, and then probably about 10-15 cars later is going to be this car. We just took our first Corvette to Barrett-Jackson, which was in Las Vegas. Proud to say that it set a record. It was a 67 427, 390 horse convertible. And this particular car is all as nice as that car, but this car actually has an extremely special story. I'll just spend a minute and touch base with you on that story. This particular car, it's a 67 Corvette Coupe, 427, 390 horse. This was a one-owner car until 2010. It has tons and tons of documentation from the day that it was new. Oh, before I forget, this CUDA that we were talking about earlier also has tons and tons of documentation as well. Something you typically just don't find with these cars. Very important that this car has this much documentation, and so does this Corvette. Very, very special in that regard. But back to the Corvette, this particular car exchanged hands to the second owner in 2010. The second owner recently passed. I bought some of the cars from his collection, and I wanted to recontact the original owner and found out that he had passed, unfortunately, in the summer of 2018. So I was able to connect with his daughter, Karen Coleman, and Karen told me the whole story about this car and her father, and just a really cool deal. Matter of fact, she was being delivered to the hospital. She was in her mother's womb and on the way to the hospital in this car, and there's great memories. So after speaking with Karen further, I invited her to come to Barrett-Jackson. She was all in on the deal, and she's actually going to be driving the car on stage. Her father actually never let her drive the car, so this will be the first time she's going to be driving it, but just a really great story. So this car was an NCRS regional top flight car. It scored really high, and then they made some improvements to make it even score higher at the next event. I had Corvette expert Roy Senior come down and do a full inspection of this car. So this car was no hit body. This car retains the original color combination. It has the original engine, the original transmission, the rear end. It's just a spectacular car. Very, very authentic with a great story. Something that you just don't see very often. And again, this car is going to be selling on Friday at Barrett-Jackson in Scottsdale next to this purple 1970 CUDA. Over here. Now walking over here, we have a vehicle that is just awesome. This vehicle was actually a part of the MS Classic Cars collection now for many years. This is a car that I bought in 1972, Datsun 240Z. It's an LS custom, and I bought the car as just a nice car when I got it. It was just a nice car, your average driver. And like everybody, I had intentions of just doing certain things to it. Those certain things spiraled out of control. Next thing you know, we've got the car stripped, completely to bare metal. We don't really do restorations here at MS Classic Cars. We just service the cars that we purchase, but we do have the capabilities of doing restorations, so mechanically, but not body work and so forth. So I sent the car to the body shop where it disappeared for about a year, but this car was completely stripped to bare metal. It was repainted 2017, crystal tricoat pearl, just an absolutely beautiful body, beautiful paint. We did all the gaskets on the car when it was at the body shop, and when the car came back, we literally stripped the entire car. We took everything out of the interior, everything out of the engine compartment, pulled the motor, underneath the car, completely took everything apart, and we essentially put everything back together. Whether we restored all the pieces or whether we did new pieces, we essentially re-restored this car to what you see here today. This car has got a ton of custom features. Just to touch on a couple, we dipped all the bumpers in carbon fiber. We dipped the wheels in carbon fiber. We put on these real sticky Pirelli P0 tires. We painted all the trim black. Spoiler, front spoiler, rear bumpers, everything again is carbon fiber. This engine compartment is absolutely beautiful. All this has been painted. The engine is just an outstanding LS1. It was dynoed at over 400 horsepower. This car, prior to us actually doing the restoration this car actually ran a 12.8 in the quarter mile. Dynoed at like 346 horsepower at the rear tires. So it was a great car. Mechanically, when we got it, we just took it to a whole new level. It's got disc brakes, custom suspension. It's got a custom, rear end, an Infiniti Q45 rear end, 6-speed transmission. I can go on and on. Once again, check it out on our website, msclassiccars.com. You can read the whole description, check out all the photos. This one's going to be selling at Barrett-Jackson on Wednesday. We're predicting this car could do a world record just based on how outstanding the restoration is and how cool the car it is. Making our way over here, this is actually a car that I'm very, very proud of. This is a 1990 Camaro IROCZ, and it's a 1LE. A 1LE is essentially a car that they built kind of as a factory race car, if you will. It's definitely a unique piece. They only made, I believe it was 62. This is one of 34 that was made with a 5-speed transmission. The 1LE package included, upgrades to the brakes and the drive shaft and some of the suspension. They deleted the air conditioning and some of this kind of thing. But it's definitely a really unique piece. It has 1,400 miles on it. It's the ultimate third generation Camaro. We've had quite a few of these Camaros at the dealership over the years. This is definitely the most rare one we've had. And with the mileage being so low and the color of the car, the history of the car, we're expecting it to do really well. This is going to be selling on Wednesday, a little bit later on the day on Wednesday at Barrett-Jackson. Actually sharing the stage with this car on Wednesday is going to be this car. This is actually kind of a twin as far as the color combination goes. This is a 2007 Ford Mustang Shelby GT 500. I purchased this car from the same gentleman that I purchased that Corvette that I mentioned a few cars back, that 67 Coupe. This was part of his collection. He actually bought this car brand new when these cars first released. This is the first year for the Shelby. This car, has so much original documentation and all the original plastic that was on the car and so forth. It has 156 miles. I'll say it again, it has 156 original miles. We serviced it at Tasco. We actually trailered it there, had an oil change done, had some of the service work done to it before the auction, brought it back with the enclosed trailer, gave it a beautiful detail. It's just an outstanding piece. So if somebody out there is looking for the first year of the Shelby GT 500 for the new generation, this is definitely the car to be looking at the auction. And again, it's going to be selling at Barrett-Jackson on Wednesday, sharing the stage with that 1990 Camaro IROCZ 1LE. Making our way over here, this is actually a really, really spectacular car. This is a 1969 Chevy Nova. This is an SS 4-speed recreation. What that means, this car was not born a big block. It wasn't born with a 4-speed. However, this car was restored like it was. So this is a complete rotisserie restoration, beautiful sheet metal, beautiful paint, fully brand new interior. It's got black interior, it's got bucket seats, highly detailed engine compartment. It's got all the factory markings, factory stickers, 396, 4-speed transmission. It's got air conditioning. Again, the air conditioning was set up just like it was from the factory with that Harrison system there. Just a magnificent car. This one's going to be selling on Wednesday. This is actually going to share the stage on Wednesday with the 31 Rio Flying Cloud sedan that I showed you earlier. Two beautiful cars that really complement each other. Going to be interesting to see what this one sells for. This is definitely the perfect car for somebody that doesn't want to spend $70, $80, $100,000 on a real big block, 375 horse, 4-speed Nova, etc. This car is definitely going to be a good car for somebody who wants that but doesn't want to spend that much money. Making our way over here, this is the last car of our 15-car collection that we have going to Scottsdale. This is a car that I'm very, very proud of. This is a 1970 Chevelle SS convertible. This car has been inspected by Jerry McNeish. It was just inspected in November of 2018. When I purchased this car, I actually sent it to Jerry McNeish first, and then we shipped it from Jerry's location in Maryland to here in Massachusetts, where we did a full service to the car, and then of course we fully detailed it and everything else. But this car, a lot like that Corvette and like that Cuda that I mentioned, this car has a ton of paperwork. This is a 2-owner car. So to find a Chevelle convertible Super Sport big block 4-speed car is hard in itself. To find one that's a 2-owner documented car is even harder. This car has tons of paperwork from the day it was new. It's got the original rare mist green color. I don't know exactly how many of these cars were produced, but from what I've gathered, it's a really low number. It's got a beautiful black interior. It has the original matching numbers engine, the original matching numbers 4-speed transmission, just an outstanding restoration. We have not had a Chevelle convertible in here in quite some time, so once again, I'm really proud to have this car. Again, one last time, all of these cars can be seen on our website. Most of them have over 200 photos, complete descriptions, the dates, the lot numbers of the cars. You can follow them on Barrett-Jackson's website. One thing to mention to you, in case you're watching the TV and it goes to commercial, you can live stream Barrett-Jackson, which is no commercials, so you don't miss any of the cars. If you have any interest in seeing what the cars are going to sell for, you can definitely live stream them. And before we end this video, we'll give you just a quick little sneak peek here of what we're working on now. We actually have an outstanding 1988 Ford Mustang GT convertible that has 10,000 original miles on it that we just are finishing the detail work on. And then we also have a 1970 Ford Maverick Custom. I've got a ton of money invested in that car. That is one of the best Mavericks I've ever seen. Really spectacular car. We're actually going to throw some tire stickers on those tires. So that Maverick and that Mustang are both going to be live on our website probably within the next week or so, so you want to stay tuned to that. And like I said, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. We look forward to showing you some more vehicles, and I'm always here to answer any questions about any cars that we have. We appreciate it. Please like us on social media and join our email blast as well. You can send us an email. We can put you on the email blast and network with you. All right? Thanks again. Appreciate it.